a lot to do today because I have been in creation mode all morning. If you can just see what my counter looks like, I've got a mix of frangelico and Greek yogurt and all kinds of random stuff because I just got to work this morning and started creating some recipes. So I'm excited to share them with you and dig into today's live. But before that, I just wanted to thank all of you for the support. I posted just a little bit. We had just heartbreaking tragedy in the family, extended family. One of Michael's very dear friends, and who's become a very dear friend of mine, passed away at 42 years old, and he was a fireman in Oakland, assistant chief, 42 years old, literally healthy, incredible, just total fluke. Dropped, just absolutely dropped on Monday after work. And so Michael headed up to the Bay Area really quick to be there for him. He was actually on the job, so they were able to get him back to life. Went to the hospital. They thought he was going to pull through, and he ended up having a second heart attack and didn't make it. So 42 years old, wife, 3 grown boys, and the sad part of the story is that they had their kids really young. So at 17 years old, they had their kids. They raised 3 amazing boys, and just were incredible parents. And now they're one of their boys just got into the Oakland Fire Department. Another boy is moving out. Another one just graduated from high school, and they were going to start this new life together as now, kind of just alone without kids and whatnot. And this is what happens. So this week was a lot of reflection, and you guys know me, I'm really big on like everything happens for a reason and all of that. And I have to say, when things like this happen, it makes you just question and wonder like, what I don't understand, and you can go down that whole rabbit hole of like, why do good things happen to, or bad things happen to good people, and like all this stuff. And the conclusion that I came up with as I was sitting there thinking, having conversations with my girlfriends, saying, just so weird, like, for as much as I'm positive and all this stuff, like I start questioning, like, why does this happen? And the answer that I came up with is, we will never have all the answers. We will never have the answers. We will never know the facts. We will never understand. And so all we can do is surrender to the unknown, surrender to the fact that, things happen and it's life, and it's just a matter of focusing again on what we can control. And now, how can we help these people that are suffering so dearly? How can we be there more for them? We can't change the past, but we can pivot and make the choice to change the future and be there. So with that being said, I'm going to be putting together a Google Drive, and I'm going to post the link, a document, and I'm going to post the link here on our page. And I'm not going to tag Sabrina because she is in our group, but I would love, I'm going to tag it at the top. I'm going to post it as an announcement. I would love you guys to sign this Google Doc. And if you have any words, maybe you've gone through some tough times, whatever it may be, like any words that you can give, or even just simply a heart, whatever it may be, just to be there for her. And I'm going to put together a card, and I think it'd be pretty amazing to have people from all over the world globally supporting her. And so I just thought about that while I was taking a shower. Actually, I was like, I'm going to put together a global drive, and I would just love all of you to put your support, share a little bit about you, a little bit of anything that you've been through, whatever you want. But I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to gather all of our amazing support and put together a wonderful global card to give her here in the coming weeks. So again, thank you guys for the support. What I love so much about our tribe, and it's kind of funny how organically I've been seeing posts about this lately, that yes, we all come here. I think that a lot of people come here not knowing what this tribe is really about. They come here as like, oh yes, I want yummy recipes. Oh yes, I need good home workouts. Oh, I need support. But when you dig in and you really submerge yourself in what we are about and what has been created here, is that it's so much more than that. It's support from all over the world, no matter what you're going through, knowing that you have somebody there. And I just think it's really massive that, people are sharing all sorts of different stuff, and the support and the community that we've created here. And I say we because it really is a tribe and an effort. that we all have created this. And I think it's really, really magical. So I just want to share my gratitude for that right now. Just really, really pretty awesome, especially in this day and age that we're living in. All right, so we're gonna shift gears. Again, thank you guys for the support. It means the world. And I know to Sabrina, and I think that it's gonna be pretty awesome when she gets this big card with all of these words from people that she doesn't even know that are thinking about her and putting out the good vibes and the prayers. So I'll put that together and I will pin it to the top of our group. All right, a couple amazing recipes. You know, I get excited. I get so excited about these because I don't know how I come up with these. My dad's asked me that the other day. He's like, how do you even come up with this stuff? I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I guess it's just, I just think of these things. So I see something and then I get inspired to make it and then I tweak it and it comes out even better than I imagined. And with Thanksgiving right around the corner, I thought these would be perfect for Thanksgiving. We haven't even really talked much about Thanksgiving. I feel like we're still in the summer months and here we are, it's the holidays. But so two really, really, really good recipes. But before that, there's two questions that I wanted to answer. The first one, they're both from Joanne, and she asked a question about the Real Foods Challenge she wants to do herself. She wants to eliminate processed foods. She wants to jump on board the Real Foods Challenge. I don't even know. I think I'm 15 weeks deep, and I never felt better. Never felt better. And so she wants to jump on board, but she says, what if you're sensitive to dairy and you can't have dairy? How can we get in your protein? Great question, Joanne, and actually perfect timing because that's part of what this whole creation started today is I'm putting together our challenge, working really hard on it. I know I've been kind of putting the buzzwords out there, but it's time, especially with the holidays. There's no better time than now to jump on board a 21-day challenge because I want you guys to feel as amazing as I feel and to just take yourself and get back in the driver's seat because we can't let the convenience and the hustle of life get in the way of our health. And when anytime you're doing extremes of anything, I'm not talking about having a shake or a bar or this or that, but anytime the hustle tends to make you grab more for those processed things and it will start to get in the way of our health. We cannot let the hustle get in the way of our health. And that's what this is all about is getting rid of all the processed, even if it's just 21 days, just to try it out, try it on for size and see how you feel. So I've been working really hard on that. So it's kind of ironic that you had mentioned that. But to answer your question, you can get your protein, obviously lean protein sources, turkey, chicken, fish. I'm sure you don't want to have fish first thing in the morning, but hopefully you're not sensitive to eggs because eggs are one thing that is kind of high on my program right now, getting in those great protein sources. And so I love liquid egg whites I've been using. So you can do eggs, you can do lean protein, scrambles with turkey. So you can do a mix of eggs and turkey. So there's so many ways you can get your protein. You don't need to get it from dairy. But one reason why I have been doing more dairy during my challenge and my personal new chapter is because I found that having the Greek yogurt and getting really creative with these recipes has allowed me to kind of curb those cravings. Because the reason I would go for the shakes and the reason I would go for the bars was, yes, for convenience, but it was also because it's like satisfies that sweet tooth. It's sweet, it's yummy, you can bake it, you can make it in a blender, you can do all these different things. And so I was doing it out of convenience, but I was also doing it because if I had a sweet craving, I would dig right into that. So that's why I've been doing more Greek yogurt. So there's other ways of protein. You can use collagen sources and whatnot. But here's the thing that is going to be interesting for those of you that want to jump on board this challenge. My Academy girls know all about this, is that oftentimes there's other things that are causing those intolerances. So you may think that you can't have the eggs or you can't have the Greek yogurt, but you might find that by eliminating all this processed stuff, you might realize that it wasn't the yogurt, it wasn't the dairy that is causing these issues. It could be other things. So when you do this detox 21-day Real Foods challenge, you might find that by you eliminating all of those extra things and processed stuff that's in a label that you might not even know was in there, you might find that it wasn't necessarily the dairy that was giving you the issue. With that being said, when you commit to these 21 days, you're adding in different types of foods, you might at first have a little bit of some, some bloat, some whatnot, but that might be because you're depriving your body of these nutrients. And once you start to get yourself back into a balanced state, you might find that a lot of these issues were because you almost created this intolerance, because when you stop having something, the minute you put it into your system, your body reacts. This happens with sodium, this happens with lactose. But when you start to sprinkle things back in and kind of balance things out, balance out your hormones, you may find that those issues that you thought you had aren't necessarily issues, and it's magical. I've seen this too with egg whites. A lot of people say they can't have egg whites, and if you think about it, you guys, the whole reason for this Whole Foods thing is that the industry is just pumping our food with stuff and hormones and crap. Maybe even the yogurt, because if it's not organic, they're pumping the animals, they're doing all these things to get the animal to produce more milk, to get the chickens to lay more eggs. So they're pumping all of these animals with all of these hormones. So if you're just getting conventional eggs at the store, you're not getting organic, then you might be having these issues because of all the stuff that's being pumped in that you don't even realize. So it might be the matter of just cleaning up the source that you're getting organic yogurts, or when it comes to egg whites, I've been using the Egg White International, and I know that there's been great success stories with people who have switched from eggs to these high quality liquid egg whites. So it might not be the actual food, it might be the quality of the food. But it's for you to see during the 21-day challenge. It's for you to kind of feel your body, see how you're doing, and commit to the 21 days. So we'll get into this once the program's out. For those that want to jump on board, we'll dig into that and we'll talk about this in much more detail. But just to answer your question, it's like, what was the question? Oh yeah, lean protein, turkey, just sub out the yogurts is just a simple answer to your question. And then once you dig into the plan, you might be able to change it up. Okay, the second question that she had was about alcoholic beverages during the holidays. That's a great one. And to answer your question, in the pumpkin recipe book, there's an amazing pumpkin mule that is a great, clean pumpkin Thanksgiving, spicy little healthy cocktail. So give that one a try. And then just keep it clear. As much as you can, keep it clear. Keep it to your martinis, keep it to your vodka sodas, keep it to your tequila limes, whatever you can do to try to just remove those sugar drinks. So those creamy martinis and, all of those sugar-filled cocktails are what is going to sabotage your goals. And not only sabotage your goals, but give you the headaches, give you the hangovers, all of that stuff. So keep it clear, keep it clean. And if you can try to avoid the sugar, you should be just fine. But check out that mule. It is really, really good. Okay, so where do we start? I've got a lot going on, so sorry if I'm a little scattered, but I'm excited. Let's start with the savory, and then we're gonna move into the sweet, okay? So really, really easy. I've got everything prepared, but I just wanted to share with you a recipe using acorn squash. So I had this acorn squash sitting here for about a week or so, and this morning I was like, booyah, I got the recipe for you guys. So here it is. Are you ready? So take the acorn squash and you're going to bake it 400 for 30 minutes, okay? And while it was baking, I also had some eggplant that I threw on here to bake. And I love eggplant. I'm like all about these like warm foods right now. So I took some eggplant and so I baked these. And then while these were baking, I made a delicious turkey little mix here, kind of like the turkey that we did before for the lasagna. But it's more of like a Thanksgiving turkey. So I added the celery, the sage, the thyme, tomatoes, onions, and then I threw in that eggplant, if you can see it in there. So I baked the eggplant and threw it in there, and I also roasted some garlic. So instead of just popping those garlics out of the cubes, I actually roasted the garlic. It smells like Thanksgiving in here right now. So we've got that going, okay? So now what we're gonna do is I took the inside of the acorn squash and I'm going to remove it from the inside. And have you ever had twice baked potatoes? So that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing twice baked acorn squash. So I'm gonna remove all of the insides, and if you remember, 1 cup is equal to 1 carb source. So wherever on our menu it says 15 grams of carbs or 1 serving of of carbs, you can do a cup of acorn squash, okay? So here we go, we've got 2, so let's pretend that usually it's about a cup per half, so this is gonna be a total of 2 carb servings. So half, where you have like a half a cup of rice or some oatmeal, you can have this delicious meal. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the, you know what, I'm going to, I have my scale out, okay? I do bring this out from time to time when I want to nail the portions. So you guys are all like, yes, Gina, I want precision. Here we go. Okay, so I've got, I'm gonna tear this and get this, and we're gonna get 4 ounces of this mixture, but remember, you have other things added to it. You've got the celery, you've got the extra free vegetables, so it's really just splitting this into 4 servings is gonna be, or 4 sections is gonna be a serving, because you've got the moisture from the tomatoes, so I threw a can of tomato sauce in there. So you've got all this moisture that's gonna add to the weight, okay? So I'm gonna do 5 ounces, how about that? Okay, we're gonna get here, we've got ounces. All right, so, oh my gosh, so delicious. It's the turkey, eggplant, onion, tomato, there we go, perfect. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna add it to the filling. So there's different ways you can do this, but I just thought it would be great to kind of mix it all together so that it's all mixed and the turkey's just not on top of the acorn squash. So I'm just gonna kind of mix this all together. Obviously a little messy here live, but you can mix it in a bowl and just kind of get all of the turkey mixed in there with the acorn squash. Okay. And then we are going to fill the squash again. All right. And I'm going to, I told you it was going to be 2 servings of carbs, but you guys get the idea. You can do the math on your own, but 1 cup of acorn squash is 1 serving. Okay, there we go. So here we go. We've got the acorn squash right there. So I mixed it all up, stuffed it back into the shell, which makes it really pretty when you want to serve it, especially Thanksgiving. If you want to do something like this, you can always stuff it back inside and serve it in the acorn shell. And then our fabulous nutritional yeast, all right? So we're gonna do 2 heaping tablespoons, 1 for each acorn squash. And I'm gonna put that right on top. Nutritional yeast, it has that cheesy flavor. I'm gonna throw that right on top. So each acorn squash is gonna get that yummy cheese. And if you don't wanna put it directly on top, you can always mix it in with the mix. All right, so there we go. We've got the delicious acorn squash. I'm gonna throw this back in on broil for 5 minutes. Oops, what am I doing? Note to self, it doesn't go in the microwave, it goes in the broiler. Okay, so it's on high. I'm gonna put the timer on so I don't forget. 5 minutes. All right, now if you wanted to add your almond cheese, Jessica, I know you're watching, and I know you love almond cheese, you can always add your almond cheese on there to get in your fat serving, okay? If there's fat in your meal. Okie dokie, so now, are you guys ready? Okay, this is such a phenomenal recipe. The first thing I'm gonna do is, you're just gonna have to trust me, you can't really see what's going on here, but I'm going to take 1.5 ounce of walnuts, okay? You can either do walnuts or pecans, and I'm gonna do walnuts because I don't have pecans. Pecans would probably be a little bit better, but I don't have any, so it's all good. So I'm gonna take 1/2 ounce, there we go, so not a whole lot. That's the one thing with walnuts and pecans, absolutely approved, but they are a little bit more dense, fat dense, so you don't get as many as the almonds. And then what I like to do is throw them in a little bag. See, this is my little serving of walnuts, okay? I'm gonna throw those in there. And now we're just gonna pound away. So you get this little meat pounder, and I'm just gonna kind of break these up. On a cutting board, you get like all the nice little crumbles, okay? So these are gonna be, I'm gonna put these in, I'm gonna kind of saute them up, get them real caramelized. So I've got those. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of stevia, or whichever type of no-calorie sweetener you like to use. Stevia right there, okay? and then a little bit of cinnamon. You guys are gonna die when you see what I'm about to create here. Okay, and I'm going to just let these kind of cook and caramelize over here for a quick second. Now, meanwhile, while those are sauteing up, we are making a pumpkin coffee gelatin, okay? So when you want your pumpkin pie, but you're like, oh, but I shouldn't, but I want, if you want it, have it. But if you want an alternative that's really good for you and you're gonna walk away feeling amazing and maybe with extra shiny hair because of the gelatin, this is for you. Okay, so we've got 1 cup of cold water, and you put it into a microwave safe dish. From there, we are going to add our gelatin. So it's 4 of these, you know what these are, 4 of these, or it's 1 ounce of gelatin. And we are gonna sprinkle this right in to our mix. Okay, so we've got our water, and we're gonna sprinkle this in. I already have half of it in there, so that's why you're like, it's not clear, Gina. All right, so there it is. So I'm sprinkling this all on top. 1 cup cold water, sprinkle the gelatin in right there. We're gonna let that sit for about 1 minute. So meanwhile, over here, I'm caramelizing these walnuts. All right. I wish you guys were all here and we could celebrate this together. Okay, so those are done. So about a minute, you'll notice that this is gonna start to slightly gel. And then once we have that, we are going to then place it in the microwave for 1 minute. Okay? Now, from there, we are going to mix in coffee, or you could either do instant coffee and add it to your water, or you could do Dandy Blend. So if you're not wanting the coffee, but you want that coffee flavor, you can go ahead and do the Dandy Blend. All right. So I'm gonna brew up that coffee. Instead of adding granules to it, I'm just gonna do a 1/3 cup of coffee. So you can do water, add your instant coffee or your Dandy Blend, or you can just brew yourself a cup of coffee, and we're just gonna use 1/3 of that liquid. All right, so we've got that. We're gonna add Greek yogurt and pure pumpkin. So not pumpkin pie filling. Keep that in mind as you're cooking for the holidays. It's pure pumpkin, not filling. Filling will be loaded with sugar, so you just want the pure pumpkin, okay? So I've got my little scale here, and I'm gonna add, let's see, I'm going to add 5 ounces of pure pumpkin. All right, so here we go, right on in. Okay, a little bit more. You guys are gonna die when you see the outcome of this. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna do 10 ounces of 0% Greek yogurt. Fantastic. This is multitasking at its finest. Off, off. Okay, we're just gonna let those kind of sit in there, but this is off. Perfect. Acorn squash is done. I have my coffee here. All right, so now I'm gonna add in 10 ounces of the 0% Greek yogurt. Okay, so here we go. So Greek yogurt, 0%, I'm gonna add in 10 ounces. So we've got a total of, between the pumpkin and the yogurt, we have a total of 15 ounces here. It's amazing how quickly I go through this yogurt now. Okay, so there we go, we're right at 15. Now I'm gonna take a 1/3 cup of coffee. So here we go, we've got a 1/3 cup. Wonderful flavor. So whether you just do a cup of coffee or you do the water and then you add in the Dandy Blend or the instant coffee, okay? There we go. Now we are going to whisk all of this up and make a thick little inside. Okay, so imagine, right? This is almost like reminding you of pumpkin pie, except for no sugar, no carbs, minus a little bit from the yogurt. All right, so we've got this really thick batter. The last ingredient that I'm going to add, well, 2 more, is a little bit of stevia. So when it comes to your sweeteners, you guys, you have to just taste it on your own, because some people like it sweeter, some people like it less sweet. So about a cup of sugar substitute, whether it's baking Splenda, whether it's baking stevia. I like to use a little bit of pure sucralose just to add that little pop of flavor. So whatever it is, just keep in mind that it really is, just depends on your specific level of sweetener that you like. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna add a cup of this. Okay, of course, it's a little stuck together. All right, there we go. Okay, add this in there. Mix it all up. And then the final ingredient is I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of Frangelico to get a little bit of that really yummy brandy flavor. So I've got about 2 tablespoons, and I'm just gonna eye it. All right, here we go. So we got about 1 and 2. Woo! Okay, so that's gonna give it some really nice flavor, and I'm just gonna mix all of this in. Okay, and then remember our gelatin that we have here that we heated up. Now we're gonna take this mixture and add it in here. Once you guys have this down, and the recipe will be in the app by the end of the day, it's really, really simple. Not a lot of ingredients. You mix all of this together. So now it's going to look like, kind of like you're wondering how this is gonna gel and turn into something that you can actually eat, right? So you see it's got like almost pure liquid at this point, but just like Jell-O, it's going to settle in the refrigerator, okay? So now you can either add the caramelized nuts into this mix if you want, or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save these nuts, since this is 1 serving of fat, and I'm gonna add it to my slice of pie. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour this into a pie dish. So pretend like I poured that into a pie dish, and you let it sit in the refrigerator. Are you ready for this? You let it sit in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. And my friends, you get the most incredible, it's almost like flan, tastes like pumpkin, tastes like coffee. It's like a Jell-O flan. Oh my gosh, check this out. I've already pre-cut it for us. Here, I have it on the plate here. OMG. Are you kidding right now? Look at this. It's like flan. It's like Jell-O. It's so good. But before I eat it, I'm going to add the topping to it, okay? I get so excited. All right, here we go. So now we're going to add the topping. So I'm going to take a bowl. Here, let's just take this so you can see it. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of the Greek yogurt. Okay, just to give us that topping. So instead of Cool Whip or whipped cream, we're just going to make, but the truth is you can put a little bit of Cool Whip on there if you wanted to, but we're just going to put this in here, make like a nice little topping. Put a little bit of our sweetener, okay, a little sweetener. I'm going to throw a little bit of cinnamon right in there. Fantastic. Put a little more Frangelico, whatever you want to do. Mix this all up. Hello. Now I'm going to just put this right on top. Look at this. Want to make sure I get all of this out. So, yeah, this is what I do all day. Is I just sit here and think about these recipes and creations, and then I get to share them with all of you. Oh, okay, here we go. This is a pure winner. Winner, winner, turkey dinner. Yum. Okay, now we're going to take those walnuts. So remember, you can do walnuts or pecans, and they're candied. So we've got the candied walnuts. Oh my goodness. Come on right now, people. But Gina, I don't know how I'm going to diet the food. I can't. I'm like, I don't understand. Have you seen what we create here? Have you seen these masterpieces? Like, please tell me. I don't get it. I don't understand. This is how you stick to a plan, is you don't diet. You find ways to satisfy those cravings. You find ways to still enjoy your pumpkin pie. I mean, come on. You could be like the most donut-loving person, and you're still Oh, look at this, like caramelized walnuts, really? Boom. Check this out, my friends. Yeah, this was created this morning in my kitchen right now. Delicious. And now I'm going to, because we don't ever want to skimp on our macros, we only get so many fats and so much that we don't want to ever miss a crumb. Okay, here it is. I can't take a bite because I got to take a picture first, but this is heaven. This is absolute heaven right now. Can I get an amen? I don't know who's still here and watching, but another winner for us. Another Real Foods winner. All right here. Okay, so here we go, my friends. I can't wait for you to try this. It'll be in the app tonight. I promise. Like, if you saw my kitchen, you'd be like, oh my God, this is madness. But it really is very simple. Few ingredients, pull it all together. It takes about maybe 30 minutes. No, not 30 minutes. Maybe about 10 minutes of prep time. 2 hours to throw in there. So make this, put this on your list. All right, you guys. Amen, sister. Hi, Gina. Hi, Gina. I love all the Ginas. Give it up for the Ginas. Okay, here we go. I'm signing off, and not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna demolish this as soon as I get some pictures, but it'll be in the app, and I'll send out a push notification once it is, so you can gather all your goodies and make it the best Thanksgiving ever. With that being said, just a reminder that as much as I would love to pop in on Thanksgiving, I am going to take off the day. So I will see you a week from next Thursday, and be on the lookout. If I'm ever silent, you know I'm like creating. So creating and our Real Foods Challenge should be out in perfect time to kind of shed post-holiday and pre-Christmas. So yeah, I'm working hard for us, guys. All right, have the best day ever. So much love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I will chat with you real soon.